Why are personal boundaries so important? Basically, they teach people how to treat you. Stasia Petralia here, your natural health mastermind, body and anxiety expert, hypnotherapist, and naturopath. Do you have trouble saying no? Do you agree to too many things and feel so overwhelmed because you can't say no? Do you yourself never ask for help because you don't want to appear needy, rude, or high maintenance? Or you don't want to let others down? When we go back to the whole teaching people how to treat you saying, it's basically you're teaching them what your limits are. You're teaching them how far you'll go or what you're willing to do for them or with them or whatever. And teaching people how to treat you is a pretty good saying when it comes to boundaries, when you think about it, simply because people learn. People learn from you. People learn how you react. People learn behaviors. So teaching people how to treat you is something, it's a learned behavior. So you're teaching them that it's completely okay to take advantage of you in that way because you don't say no, because you allow it. And being in that position before, you would think, oh, don't they just know not to do that? Don't they know that that's wrong? But you're not saying anything. You know, you don't have that inner voice inside to say, no, I'm not going to accept this. This is, no, just no, I'm not doing that. And that's it. You're teaching people that it's okay for them to take advantage of you because there's no boundary there, because there's nothing like a fence there to stop that, because you're not enforcing it by saying no. That's why they're taking advantage of you. And you might be thinking, why don't these people see that what they're doing is wrong? Why don't these people see that, they shouldn't be doing this? You're right, they shouldn't be doing this, but you shouldn't be allowing it to happen. You have a voice, you have free will. You can say, no, I don't accept this. No, I don't tolerate this. Whether it's in, for example, narcissistic relationships, the narcissists themselves tend to break that barrier down. They break down. They're really good at breaking down your own boundaries because you trust them, they appear charming, and you sort of let your guard down, and then you start to accept little things, and then pretty soon there are no more boundaries. And that's psychological abuse. Now you can also get that with, there's narcissists everywhere. They could be your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. They could be your uncle. They could be your aunt. They could be, anyone, your partner, whoever. And if saying no is just not getting anywhere with them, then that's when they really need to be removed from your life. And just saying no that first time is hard. It is hard to do it the first time. But when you practice it and when you visualize it in your head first and contemplate any potential throwback questions or throwback answers or something that they might say to you inside your head before you say no, and then come up with all sorts of answers beforehand, you'll get stronger from it because you're also visualizing that you're doing it, which will help you to do it. So never underestimate visualization itself. It's very, very powerful. For example, there were experiments done on people who there was like 3 sets. There were people who just didn't do anything. There was one set of people who were doing like basketball. They were doing basketball and they were practicing basketball, and then the third set of people, they were actually visualizing playing basketball. Now at the end of that week or whatever time it was, when they were testing the 3 sets of people out, the ones that didn't visualize and didn't practice, obviously they were the crappiest at the game. The ones that had practiced it physically did really well, and then the ones that just visualized it, didn't physically practice, they did almost completely as well. It's like something like a 1% difference between the visualization ones and the ones who physically did it. So visualization is extremely powerful because it's like the brain's going, oh yeah, it's really happening. Never underestimate the power of thought itself. It's extremely powerful. To enforce that boundary, you first need to speak up. Always be polite about it, but you do need to speak up. That inner voice needs to be allowed to come out. That's inside you that you've kept locked up away for so long. If you're having difficulty with saying no, if you're having difficulty with finding that inner voice inside, if you're having paralyzing anxiety simply because you can't say no to other people around you, this could mean that you have unresolved trauma at an unconscious level to do with boundaries, to do with your voice, to do with saying no. And that needs to be worked on from within, unconsciously. If that's you and you're ready, let's connect.